Hi guys, thank you for joining me on my yoga channel. I'm going to do a quick session for beginners here. It's going to be very short, nothing too hard. Feel free to follow along. Don't mind me here. This is what happens whenever reggae comes on. But feel free to follow along and I hope you guys enjoy. Okay, starting off in Tadasana, which is also known as tree pose, making sure you have a very good firm root on the ground. We're going to head into some warm-ups, so we're going to bring our hands up over our head on an inhale, making sure you're focused on one spot in front of you so you can keep your balance. On an exhale, we're going to let our arms gently float back down. Inhale, bring your arms up above your head. Separate your shoulder blades. Exhale, letting your arms float back down. Inhale. Once your arms are all the way up to the top, separate your shoulder blades. On an exhale, bring them back down. We're going to do that again, but we're going to incorporate our chin this time. So on an inhale, bring your hands up over your head and point your chin up so that you can look at the sky. Let your arms float back down on an exhale. Inhale, bring your arms up above your head, separating your shoulder blades. Chin slightly up. Exhale, let everything float back down. Tuck your chin in and under, looking at your heart. We'll do that again. Bringing your arms up, reaching really high up to the sky. Separating your shoulder blades, exhaling, slowly floating back down. We're gonna head into our standing twist. So looking to the left, your right heel comes up. Looking to the right, your left heel comes up. And you want to look back at the opposite heel. Now we're going to continue to do that, looking forward. And you'll come to a very slow, gradual stop. Very natural. From here, we're going to head into our Surya Namaskar, also known as the sun exercise. So with our hands up above our head, we're going to float back down, bending forward. And we're going to send our left leg back behind us, making sure your right ankle is underneath your right knee. Stay there and rest for a moment. Really feel the stretch in your hips, in your thigh area. Relax your head. Stay there for a few breaths, in and out. Make sure you're breathing very low in your abdomen. Come up, put that other foot back by the other one, and go down into Cobra. From here, we're going to head into Downward Dog. And while you're in Downward Dog, pedal it out a little. Feel the stretch in your thighs. Try and touch your heels to the floor. From there, we're going to bring our left foot back up in between our hands. We're going to have our right foot meet our left foot. And we'll bring our hands up above our head on an inhale. And on an exhale, we'll fold back down. This time we're going to bring our right foot back. From here, we're going to place our left knee on the floor, our right knee on the floor, our left foot on the floor, and we'll rest there, making sure your left ankle and your left knee are above each other. Take that left foot back to meet the other. Stand in plank. Head down into Cobra. From here, we're going to head back up into Downward Dog, pedaling it out, really feeling the stretch. in your calves and in your thighs. Try and touch each heel down to the mat. We're going to bring that right foot forward, back in between our hands. We'll bring the left foot right next to it, and sending our hands over our head on an inhale, bending back a little by our shoulders, and bringing your hands to your heart. Send your hands up above your head, folding forward. We're going to send our left foot back again, sending that left knee down and holding there for a moment, for a few breaths, making sure you're breathing with your abdomen, your lower abdomen, which means your stomach should be going in and out, in and out. We're going to send our right foot back into plank position, sending both knees down to the mat, gliding into cobra, making sure you tuck your elbows in just a little. They should not be straight. And we're going to go back into downward dog, pedaling it out. Bring your left foot forward again. Bring your right foot to meet it. Hands over the head. On an inhale, on an exhale, bring your hands back down to your heart, gazing at your hands. Bring them back up over your head, but fold forward. We'll send our right foot back, our right knee touching the ground. Rest a moment, making sure that left ankle is underneath that left knee. Stay for a few breaths. Really feeling this stretch in your lower abdomen, your lower back. Send that left foot back to meet the right into plank position. Knees down to the mat, glide into cobra. Try and keep your elbows really close to you whenever you go into cobra, and also bent a little. We're in downward dog now. Pedaling it out. We'll bring that right foot back up in between our hands, the left foot to meet it. And we'll bring our hands up over our head, tilting back slightly at the shoulder blades, not the lower back, the shoulder blades. And bringing your hands to your heart. Now we're going to do it a little faster. So we're going to go up over our head, bending down forward. Send that left foot back there, knee touching the mat. We're not pausing, so we're going to do this pretty fast. Down into cobra. Head up into downward dog. And send that left foot in between your hands, right foot to meet it. Inhale, hands up over your head, folding back from the shoulder blades, hands together, hands at heart. Sending your hands up above your head again, folding forward by the hips. Send that right leg back now. We're not pausing, so we're going to send the left leg back, plank, head down into cobra, and downward dog. Send that right leg up to meet in between, left leg to meet it. Hands up over your head on an inhale, hands on an exhale, hands at heart. So from here, we're going to go into a seated position. So hands above your head, fold forward, bend at the knees, and slowly come down to the mat. From here, we're just going to shake our legs out a little. I like to do this in between each asana. Now we're going to go into a seated twist. So you're going to take your right leg, put that ankle over on the opposite side of the left leg. Take your left hand, place it on your thigh, bring your right hand and make a big circle up over behind you, tucking your right hand towards your back. Try and bring it as close to your back as possible because it'll make your spine very straight if you do so. And hold there for a few breaths, breathing in with your lower abdomen, so you should really feel it in your lower part of your stomach and your lower back as well. Alrighty, coming out of that seated twist, bring your hand up over, shake everything out. Now we're going to do the opposite leg. So bring your left leg over your right knee. Go ahead and place your right hand on your thigh there, and bring your left hand up, over, and behind. Making sure you tuck it as close as possible so you have a straight spine. Breathing in very deep, getting that stretch in your lower back. And we're going to undo the position and stretch our legs out, shaking our legs. Like I said, I like to do this in between each asana. Okay, so try and spread your cheeks and go ahead and take both of your arms and fold them up underneath your legs as such. You may not be able to go down as far as I am right now. That's perfectly fine. Bend your knees as much as you need to. And stay here. Breathing in and out very slowly, making sure you breathe with your lower part of your diaphragm. So as you can see there, my stomach is kind of going in and out. On the lower half, it's blowing up really big and then going down. You should feel that massaging your stomach there against your thighs, as well as your lower back should feel like it's expanding as well. Stay there, breathing in and out at your own pace. If you feel as though you got a good stretch and you can go a little further, try taking your hands and holding out your feet. Drop your head and stay there for a few breaths. Only do as much as you can. There should not be any pain. So from here, we're going to lay down. So we're going to want to take our hands up underneath our knees, holding so that it can support us as we roll down vertebrae by vertebrae. Head should be the last thing to touch the ground. From here, we're going to take our right ankle up. Actually, we're going into twist. So twist to the left, bringing your knees down to the floor on the left, your right arm extended out to the right, centralizing. Twist to the other side, bringing your left arm extended out. Centralizing. On an exhale, send your knees back over to the left, your right arm out, and your head facing the right. Centralize again. And head on over to the other side. Knees should be over to the right, left hand should be extended out, head should be to the left. Centralize. And from here we'll take our right ankle and place it just a little below our knee. Clasp your hands in between your thigh and on the outside of your thigh. Extend your leg. and pull towards you to give yourself a nice stretch. Also try to push your right hip down as you're doing this. Make sure you're breathing diaphragmatically. In very slowly, out very slowly, at your own pace. Bend your knee back down, undoing the position. We're going to put our left ankle slightly underneath our right knee. Interlace our hands behind, grasping. And extend that right leg. So you could feel that stretch in the back thigh. Also try and push your right hip down. This will give you a better stretch. Undoing the position. We're going to go into our half bridge pose. So try and bring your ankles as close as you can to your butt, placing your palms down onto the floor. Now we're not really using our arms for this, it's just kind of support. We're not really using our arms. You're going to lift your butt into the air. On an exhale, come back down. On an inhale, we're going to do the exact same thing, lifting our butt into the air, setting your tailbone up, and setting it back down on an exhale. Now we're going to do it again, but we're going to hold for a little while. Send your tailbone up, and you're going to clasp your hands up under, walking your shoulders a little more in towards each other. So all of the weight should be on your knee, on your legs right now, and on your shoulders. It shouldn't be on your hands. Stay there for a few breaths. And on an exhale, come back down very gently and slowly. Then we're going to send our legs up over our head, balancing on mostly our shoulders and our elbows. Send your right leg back. Now you're going to be balancing on your shoulder blades. It's not your actual shoulders. It's the upper part of your back that you'll be balancing on, as well as your elbows. Now send both of your legs back. If you can't touch the ground, that's perfectly fine. Only do as much as you can. Bend your knees if you have to. Send your arms straight down and clasp them behind. And one vertebrae by vertebrae, come down very slowly. Now your weight should be on your hands, on your arms. Coming down very slowly. Tuck your knees up under, clasp your knees, and rock up and down until you can come into a seated position. From here, we're going to stand up and go into our triangle pose. So we're going to have our right foot forward slightly, facing the front wall in front of you. Your left foot back about 2 to 3 feet apart at a 90-degree angle. Bring your hands up to the side of you, and we're going to be in Warrior One. Tilting forward slightly. Go ahead and grab your right ankle with your right hand. If you can place your palm down on the floor, that's even better. Exhale, look down. Inhale, look up. Exhale, fold that left arm behind you and grab your thigh if you can. Making sure you're breathing diaphragmatically, send your left arm back up and down to meet your right. Now we're going to bend our knee just slightly, send our right arm for support on our knee, and our left arm up over our head, and look up. Making sure you're breathing diaphragmatically through this all. Go back into Warrior Two. Making sure that right knee is bent. From here, we're going to head back up into Warrior One. Straighten out that leg, and we're going to head on to the other side. So, making sure your left foot is pointing towards the wall in front of you. Your right foot is going to be at a 90-degree angle. We're going to bring our arms up to the side of us into Warrior One. And we're going to head down into Triangle Pose. Like I said, if you could place that left hand on the floor, do so. If you can't, it's perfectly fine. On an exhale, we're going to look down to the floor. On an inhale, we're going to look up, back up, and send our left hand behind us. If you can, grab your thigh. Bring your left hand back up and down to meet the right, bending that right knee, using that left hand for support and sending your right hand up over your head. Look up to the sky. Breathing in diaphragmatically. Go back up into Warrior One. Keeping that knee bent, head back into Warrior Three. Back up into Warrior One, straighten that leg, and we're going to do a forward fold. So spreading our legs out a little further, as much as you're comfortable. Place both hands down to the ground and bend slightly. Don't do too much. Come back up, straighten that spine, straighten your arms, and fold back down. Come back up, straighten that spine again, and on the third one, if you could reach your forehead down to the mat, do so. Do not try this if you cannot. Only do as much as you feel is comfortable. It should never be painful. Bring your hands up behind you, clasp them. Send them to the right and to the left. Getting a good stretch in our back and in our hip area. And from here, we're going to undo the position by heel-toeing back up. Okay, so from here, we want to shake everything out, come back to the front of your mat. Send your hands up over your head on an inhale, and on an exhale, fold forward. Bending your knees, we're going to come to a seated position. Shaking out our legs. We're going to lay down, so we're going to bend our knees, grasp our calves, and slowly come down vertebra by vertebra. Your head should be the last to touch the ground. So we're going to go into Savasana now. But before we do so, we want to do a few twists. So twist to the left, centralize, twist to the right, making sure you're looking to the left. Send your knees back down to the left and your head to the right. Centralize. Send your knees back down. Oh, well, actually, from here, we're going to go into Shavasana. So just make yourself comfortable on your mat. Spread your feet out a little apart. making sure your palms are up. Allow your breathing to come very slowly and very natural. This is our resting state. There is no more doing, no more effort. Close your eyes and take a moment to relax from your practice. And we'll start by wiggling our toes slowly, bending our knees. Wiggle your hands, your fingers, open your eyes, bringing your awareness back to your body. And we're going to do a big stretch, like as if you were in your own bed waking up in the morning. Let it be very natural. Bend your knees, turn to the side, coming up into a seated position. I'm going to end my practice saying thank you so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll be making plenty more videos, at least once a week. I'll try and make them anywhere between 25 to 30 minutes long. I hope everyone has a blessed day. Namaste. Hope you guys enjoyed my video. Have a great night.